Hey, and welcome to Lemon Drops, brought to you by the Smoky Lemon crew. Well, we're talking branding, marketing, and everything in between. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's drop in. Welcome back to Lemon Drops, and today my special guest is Rik Allen, who is part of the Atāwhai Trust team. Morena, Rik.
Morena.
Now, Atāwhai, this is a community podcast. It's all about Atāwhai in action. And so it just centres around the mission of Atāwhai Trust, your services, impacts on individuals in the community. And so, just talking about this, it's a bit of an authentic community-minded podcast. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess with the spotlight being on Atāwhai Trust, we should start by talking about the fact that it's a driving force behind community empowerment, inclusion, and meaningful opportunities within our region. So, Rik, if you could unpack, to begin with, let's talk about what Atāwhai Trust is in a nutshell.
Yeah. So Atāwhai, we're a charitable organisation. We're a not-for-profit. So the mission is around, we've been around for 35 years.
Okay.
And originally it was a service that provided people, IHC or intellectual disabilities, support with employment, support with community participation, support with independent living. And that's thrived for the last 35 years. And as it's developed, the different sectors have evolved and changed with time. So now we do cater for a wide spread of people, what I call people with diverse capabilities.
Yes.
So they can be to our mild to moderate numeracy literacy deficit type people, to people that have been diagnosed with autism or ADHD or fetal alcohol, to those that have more of an intellectual disability. So we sort of have a bit of a spectrum, mild to moderate to severe.
Right.
And then we cater for those individuals.
So what makes this organisation such a valued part of our region?
I think the longevity that we've been around, and I think the boards that have been entrusted over the time, that people have been truly passionate about the service that they're providing, and supporting for people that have probably had challenges. And I suppose for the purpose of this, we'll say for disability-wise.
Right.
With disabilities in the community, disabilities with finding work, sustainable work, to have that support of empowerment or independent living. So they've had a real passion behind that kaupapa. So there's been driving forces for the last 35 years, and I think why we're in the place that we're in today is those pioneers have really laid the platform,
the foundation
for where we are today, and we're in a strong platform to moving forward. So you offer things like horticulture, arborist services, packaging and food redistribution. So how do those enterprises create opportunities? So those opportunities create meaningful employment. So we have different sectors. So we have our arboristry and horticulture services. So we operate 2 crews that go out and they service pretty much Taranaki wide. And we have the food the bread and milk redistribution that we have a contract with Goodman Fielder.
Right.
And that's where we redistribute product to pig farmers, chook farmers, Lepers Piggery is another one that we have a contract with, and that helps to employ another 4 to 6 people within Atāwhai, and then probably 4 to 6 people from Lepers Piggery.
Brilliant.
So again, we're creating meaningful employment for those.
Yes.
So we also have contracts with Egmont Seeds, Metro Fires, Roofing Taranaki, and they're just contracts that we're doing. So seed packing, we do roofing nails with the little rubs on for Roofing Taranaki. Metro Fires, they do replacement doors. So again, it's meaningful, relevant, purposeful employment.
And paid employment for them.
It is, and probably one of the things that we can be really proud of, and the previous GM really strive for this, was at least the minimum wage.
Right, yeah.
It's still quite horrific to know that people with disabilities can be paid $1 to $2 an hour.
Why? Are they not valued as much, or?
I think that's just probably how it's been. That's what the law's been, and it hasn't changed. So
It's such a societal shift that needs to happen there, isn't it?
So, and we believe they have all the same costs. You know, we want them to be independent living, flatting, renting. You know, for a majority of our clients, they have higher health costs.
True.
So again, you know, it's not like they don't have, and the allowance or the disability allowance that they get is very minimal as well. So we're proud that we can do that, and we're probably one of, or if not the only one that does that. But again, it also comes with its challenges. So when we have some of the initiatives, we need to have some of the initiatives that help us to sustain that.
Heats your arborist and your food redistribution.
You know, it's really good. We get funding from MSD, which is great. But I've come from the education sector, and that funding only ever goes so far. So
there's never enough.
You know, and we have a really good proactive board in regards to looking for outside source funding, fundraising. Again, we want everything that we do to be sustainable.
So what is it a day to day? What does it look like at Atāwhai Trust?
Yeah,
it's quite different every day, I suppose.
Well, no, we strive for that predictability, that reliability.
Yes.
See, like for our clients, they thrive on that. But we've got so much that's going on, and I suppose it really comes down to our staff being able to coordinate and logistically do that. You know, so we have Jo, who's outstanding, and she looks after our support independent living. So she'll be supporting clients with budgeting, with appointments, taking to appointments. She can be working early, she can be working late, she can be at hospital with them. Right. She, you know, helping to give the medications, so ensure that they're taking their medications each day. So she's really kept busy with that side of it. With our community participation, so we've got activities throughout each day. So when the people turn up, and then so we've got a whole range of activities where it can go from very simple, just to being in a walking group, to playing croquet, to doing line dancing, to having cooking lessons, to having baking lessons.
So that's future-proofing themselves, but also that sense of connection.
Yeah, what we strive to do, though, for every activity that we're doing, it's not just a tokenistic activity. Every activity has a purpose, it has a rationale, and it has an outcome. So what are the things that we're trying to develop with social skills? So when we take them to the swimming, you know, that interaction between having to make a payment, go and interact with a cashier, perhaps get change or perhaps use their card. So that it's not just something that they do at Atāwhai.
Yeah.
Is that in the weekend, if they want to go down to the swimming pool or they want to go to the movie theatres, they know exactly what they need to do.
Capable of doing it themselves.
But again, our job is to help scaffold and to empower them to have that confidence, that if that independence, that they can do that outside of Atāwhai.
How do those living with diverse capabilities, like, do they get referred? Can they just turn up? Like, how do they get involved?
So we do have outside agencies that refer clients to us. We also have our webpage, so people can make inquiries on that.
Created by Smoky Lemon.
And it's just word of mouth. So generally we have a process of people that will come in and go through the application process. So we give them a bit of a tour through, say things that we do at Atāwhai to see if that suits or meets the needs for their client or for their children.
Yes.
Then we go through a process of picking out the things that they want to do. So as I say, with our CP program, we have set activities each day.
What does CP stand for?
Community participation.
Right, yep.
So that's again the thing, building things within Atāwhai, but also into our external.
Yeah.
So our croquet, we go to Inglewood, and that's really supported by the Croquet Club, and they've been fantastic. So, you know, there's been the opportunity for some of our clients to then attend croquet on a Sunday.
Neat.
And they were even so generous to actually say, well, we'll go and pick up the client and
brilliant.
And bring them down. So again, that's part of that community inclusion that we're sort of seeking.
Because you must have to run vans to get your clients to and from places, or?
Yep. So we've just upgraded our van, and that was grateful because through Toi.
Yes.
You know, Toi have enabled us to upgrade our van, which is more fit for purpose. So again, safety first with our clients, but the ability to go outside and transport, and we take them to the YMCA on a Thursday, and they do Shooting Stars basketball, and that's interacting with other agents like life skills, Taranaki, and so you know, you've got croquet down in Inglewood, swimming at the aquatic centre. We do some excursions. We do excursions in the school holidays.
Yeah. So can your clients, can they be at Atāwhai Trust in your building in Fitzroy? They turn up day in, day out, that's a routine for them? Yeah.
So we're situated really good because we're close to a bus stop. So another thing, we do have the van that we're sort of establishing a pick-up and a drop-off. So we want to remove any access or egress to our service.
Yeah.
The other thing we've got to be mindful of is that we don't remove any independents. So if they're independently being able to use public service,
that's a big thing.
Yeah, and we don't want to take that away from them.
For sure.
So again, we've got to be very mindful that sometimes you come with too big a heart.
Yes.
And
do too much for them. Yeah.
Too much for them, and then we want to sort of step back because we want to be at a place where if we were able to remove ourselves, they could still thrive.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Is there an age cap?
So we have 16 to 64 that's our ministry.
Right, so that's your working age, right? Yep.
Yeah. But we still have clients in their 70s.
Wow.
So we don't, once they turn 65, we don't say, yeah. I mean, they're part of the furniture, they're part of the whānau. So, we've probably got three or four that are, into their 70s.
And if that's been their day-to-day for so long, that's kind of the sense of purpose, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's almost part of the family.
Is it? Yeah. Could you share an inspiring story of someone that found perhaps a new job or a new passion thanks to Atāwhai?
I mean, I read this question, it was really challenging because there was so many. I mean, there's so many stories of where we've helped people that have been regular visitors to the mental health ward, but by having that regular, meaningful work,
yes,
a stable income, has not been in that system for 17 years.
That's big.
So that's a huge.
Yeah.
One that's interesting to me, and I come from the education sector, and I was in the resource teacher for learning and behaviour service for a good number of years. So one boy that I started with in primary school, I also worked with him at intermediate, and then I also worked with him when I was at boys high.
Yes.
And now I've employed him.
At Atāwhai.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and it was based on he was struggling to find employment because of his diverse capability.
Yep. But he was in mainstream school.
Yep. And talking to his parents, he's probably the first of their family that's gone through to year 13.
Wow, they'll be so proud. Yeah.
But again, we had found it really challenging. But from knowing him through his life and knowing what his capabilities were and how intelligent, how clever he is.
You knew right from, you'd seen it.
Yeah. So we were looking at ways that we could develop a lawn mowing service within our company, so that we had stepping stones towards the arborist side of it. And he started with me and worked, and it was not long that he was onto that, and he was on one of the hawk crews.
Wow!
So he'd sort of made that transition to that, and so he will start looking at doing his ITO training as well, and he's super keen,
Wow. So from, starting off at primary school where he could have been perhaps written off by some people, he's not going to achieve or whatever.
Yeah. Without saying too much, I know from when I first started working that the not the seclusion is the best word, but he was not included with everything based on his we'll say his autism.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
So there was lots of work that we went on through that journey. So from him to be not engaged with the kids, have his own space in the classroom, to the part where he's at high school and he's attending classes and interacting, to the part where I took him down to the iLead conference and he stood up and did a speech in front of Parliament.
How did that make you feel?
Oh, it's huge. I was immensely proud of the four guys that we took down there, because it does throw you out of your comfort zone.
I mean, even a person with total that's just scary for anybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But again, it was such a nurturing environment, so they probably would have had 60 marangatahi youth from around New Zealand, between 18 and 30. And it was such a supportive 2 days, such a fantastic group. They were so supportive. It's almost, you'd feel like, I just wish community were was like this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, that's a great story. I mean, that's a real success. Yeah. So this kind of leads on to like how Atāwhai's how the services foster like inclusion and participation for those that otherwise might feel left out. So that's kind of an example of that there, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. We always try to have everything that's meaningful, and it's genuine. It's not, as I say, we don't ever go on tokenism. The point of doing it for the sake of putting it, everything has to have validity to what we do, because that's the respect that we have to show our clients, and that's the respect that we want to see. So everything that we try to do or work towards has to have some aim that it's going to empower or benefit our clients in either the short term or the long term.
Which kind of leads you into your values as well about, aroha and order and well-being and how do we say that one? Manaakitanga, like to...
So, so if you look at our values, it actually that spells the word mawhai. Mawhai is a te reo Māori word for spiderweb. So spiderweb is the strongest sort of structure in nature.
Yes.
But it's the interweaving of the spiderweb that screens. So why we have the mawhai and why we have that, as I say, all those qualities intertwine with our values as well. But those are the things that we embody.
Yes.
So it's all the manaakitanga, it's all the caring that we show, it's all Atāwhai, the kindness that we show. Whakawhanaungatanga, that's the whānau relationships and those connections. Those are what's really important, not just within, but also the external community, with our board members, with our whānau, with their caregivers. Aroha, that speaks for itself. And iho refers to the plinth of the tree. That links back to our arboristry, and that's sort of the heart of the tree. So again, that's what links to that. And everything we see the clients as being the plinth of our tree. They are the centre. So everything that we try to do or decide or make decisions around is client-centred.
Because, well, it's the whole reason you're there, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And haora being well-being.
Yeah. I mean, you link to, and I think one of the things is a te wharetapa whamaro. To have that structure, the four walls have to be in place.
Okay.
If you're looking at your overall hauora, all those things have to be put in place. And that's, you don't just ever attend to one thing.
Yes.
Everything. Holistically, we're looking at the things that we can do to support.
So, in practical terms for the clients that Atāwhai works with, what does supported employment mean?
Well, supported employment is a range. So, whether it's within Atāwhai or we're looking at for external employers, it's become more challenging looking externally because we pay minimum wage. When it was a reduced wage, there's obviously incentives for external employers. And this is not a criticism, but it is, when you can pay somebody $5 an hour or $8 an hour, and they are doing probably monotonous type tasks and all that sort of stuff, there is a sort of a benefit to the external employers. When we've got the unemployment like we've got now, and we've got people that are taking lesser paid jobs and being more qualified, don't need to be supported or scaffolded or anything like that,
Makes it more difficult.
Yeah. So we also look at how do we do things internally. We still have our external employers. Lepers Piggery is one of them. And so they seem to be our go-to if people come into our Stepping Stones program, and that's where we can support them with CVs, going to interviews, looking for external employers. So we never ever just throw somebody into them and say, good luck.
Off you go.
We walk along beside them. We help them develop those skills, the capabilities that they'll need to be successful before they can do that independently. When we do it internally, we've got a lot more control over that process. And as I say, we've got obviously our bread and food distribution, the packing, the metro fires. We've just started another contract with the New Plymouth District Council, cleaning cars. So again, that gives another few hours to somebody else. So again, it's having diversity around some of the things that we do, but we always stress on it's not tokenistic work because we strive on quality.
Yes.
So we want to be showing that we want people to see our clients the way that we see them.
Yeah. and they can do just as good a job as the next
if not better.
Yeah,
not better.
exactly. Yeah. Community partnerships and these collaborations obviously help make Atāwhai stronger by doing those things. Yeah.
Without those partnerships, we wouldn't be thriving like we do. Just so we really appreciate, Egmont Seeds, who, the machinery and the technology that they have is amazing.
Do some of these industries that give work to Atāwhai, do some of those have experience of people with diverse capabilities? Like, are they a bit more in tune and wanting to help? Or
I think so. I think that's one aspect of it, and I think another aspect is the longevity that they've been involved with Atāwhai.
Right. Yeah.
So those would be the two things. But I think or they just have that intrinsic passion that they want to support a really good
one.
Yeah. So and like for us, we're really thankful for those people that they still choose to, because as I said, realistically they probably don't need to. What we can do in packing in our factory in a week, their machinery could do in probably an hour. But again, it is so good for the guys.
Creates purpose for them.
Even John at Egmont Seeds, he allowed us to take some of the clients through, and he showed us through the process, because they're interested, because when they go into the shops, they see them, they look for the packets that they've...
of course, yeah.
So to go through the process and see how the seeds come to fruition before they come into our factory was a huge thing for them.
And to get that understanding of how it gets to the end results. Yeah. So, Rik, what small wins or big achievements stand out from the past year at Atāwhai?
I think in the last 12 months, some of the big things, obviously we've been through quite a few changes with the change of the general manager. He'd been there for over 30 years.
And you're the new man, the new kid on the block.
Big shoes to fill.
How long have you been there now?
15 months.
Okay, yeah. Have you almost settled in?
They know my name.
Taranaki now? Yeah.
I don't know. We won't push it.
Yeah, okay.
So, we've been through a lot. And obviously, as we said, we talked about our website before, but we've gone through a whole rebranding.
Yes, because you were Atāwhai Industries.
Yep.
And now you're Atāwhai Trust. Yeah.
So the full name was Atāwhai Industries Trust.
Right, okay.
But back in the day, there was a lot of light industry work. And we're not doing that so much now. So the board didn't think it was a fair representation that to give that thing out, we're an industry, so we're doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But again, we are a trust,
and
not-for-profit charity, and so Atāwhai Trust is sort of pretty much our trading name.
Okay.
So we've gone through the process of rebranding, upgrading our web page, redoing our logos, having that side of it looking great, which is absolutely fantastic.
It's a big win.
The small ones, the guys that have been doing the ITO training. So we're getting people qualified in the ITO training.
What's ITO again?
Industry Training Organisation.
Okay. Yep.
So that's within the artistry hall. The other ones that we partnered with Linda Martin from Aspire too. And so we've been having 13-week courses for developing workplace skills. So all the people that are working in our factory or in the bread redistribution, all that, all undertake this, and it helps with basic numeracy and literacy and skills that they're doing within their work. But it also helps them develop communication, non-verbal, body language, how to interact, all that sort of stuff. So all those sort of things around teamwork. So we just had our second graduation on Monday. So for our second intake, and then we'll have one more intake for this year. So those are the big wins and small wins.
People with diverse capabilities, if they're like non-verbal and through different areas of the spectrum, can that change? Can that have you seen that can change? Like if it's brought out in a nurturing environment?
I think in the same sense it can always improve. The thing is, probably from my experience and my background, and from working at Atāwhai, you really get more in tune with how clients communicate.
Right. So you
So sometimes if somebody come into Atāwhai and they had a conversation, they might not understand, whereas we understand.
Gotcha. So you know how to be.
And I suppose that's really getting to know your clients and knowing, their body language and how, what they're trying to communicate. It might not be in full sentences sometimes, but you get the crux of what they're doing and what they're trying to communicate. So again, from spectrum, from mild right to moderate. But again, I think the same thing is about nurturing that environment, and coming from my background, we do have ways that we adapt or differentiate things to enable that communication.
Right. Yeah.
So
if someone listening wants to support or get involved with Atāwhai, what's the best way for that?
right, yeah. So we're always looking for people, especially volunteers, in the same sense for some of the CP initiatives that we've got. I really want to get a gardening project done, so another community-based community garden project. But I get, we've got things like volunteering, sponsorship, or external employers, people that might have, there might be monotonous tasks to them, but these are things that we thrive on and we do really, really well. As I say, it's just some of those things. There's some businesses out there that have to put 10 bolts into one packet and they have to do 20,000 of them.
Right. You guys can do that.
Yeah. And we can do it really, really well. So,
and to put one of your clients in that role gives them purpose and meaningfulness, and it's so much more than just packaging up some bolts, right?
I tell you, they are so meticulous and fastidious in how they do.
Yeah.
I probably haven't met the grade when I go down to help them out in the factory, because I'm pretty quickly pushed to the side if I'm not doing it.
Know exactly what to do. Yeah.
And I say, when you see it, it's almost factory-like.
Yeah.
They have a real rhythm and a real.
So they do that. But they do that on site or at the businesses?
No, they do it on site. So
your site.
As I say, Metro Fires, Refuge Taranaki, and he wants everything comes onto site.
Right. Yep.
And then we have a packing room manager, and that allocates the work for that day, what needs to get through, and so.
And so I guess, we should finish off really by talking about the vision for how Atāwhai can help make Taranaki even more inclusive and vibrant in the next few years.
I think the same thing. For what we strive for is that inclusion, but that engagement. Again, I think it always still comes down to perception.
Yes, yeah.
People still think that we're a service that support people with Down syndrome. I get that a lot.
That's still there. Yeah.
And if people saw our clients the way that we see them and how we interact and we would do things, it'll be entirely different.
So if you're interested in getting involved in helping Atāwhai or helping create an enterprise, can people come and have a look and see how it goes there?
Yeah, more than happy for people to come and have a look and see what we do and how we do things. We have our website. You can make a general inquiry and all that sort of stuff, and just put your details onto that, and then make a time and we can meet and discuss. And
likewise for someone who may have a family member or a friend with diverse capabilities.
Yeah, so
a little lost.
So on the website as well. So we have all the information and things that we do. And you can make an inquiry and just tick the sort of things that you want to. It helps us to be more prepared when we have those meetings. So if they're thinking, we want to look at some things around community participation or supported employment, then we can structure those meetings around that.
Well, Rik, thank you so much. Thank you for what you do for our community, for everybody in our community. I think inclusion is such an important thing. Like, we all deserve to be here on the same level.
For sure.
So thank you for your time. Thank you for what you do for Atāwhai and to the entire Atāwhai team.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. I've appreciated it.
You're welcome. It's good to get that messages out, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah. We'll catch you next time on Lemon Drops.